Hi everybody, Sam Kavaris in the Nimnicht Chevrolet Sports Update. So no Hall of Fame for Tony Boselli in the class of 2018. Obviously a very worthy class. You can't argue, I don't think, with any of the five guys that were put in, both linebackers who were first year eligibles, Brian Urlacher and Ray Lewis, and Brian Dawkins, obviously from Jacksonville, who got tremendous support, absolutely a worthy Hall of Fame member, a guy who just kind of almost changed how they were able to play defense, particularly in Philadelphia, while he was there on some just phenomenal defenses. And then the two wide receivers, Randy Moss, who just a transcendental talent, you might say, and Terrell Owens, who had plenty of problems with teammates and how he treated them, but obviously the second greatest numbers in the history of the league overcame all of that as well. Add to that Robert Brazile and Jerry Kramer and Bobby Beathard, and you get quite a class for 2018. It does include Brian Dawkins, and the class includes Brian Dawkins, and I think that that is a phenomenal thing for Brian. Out at Raines High School and then off to Clemson, both played with Philadelphia and Denver, and really was one of those guys that could do so many different things from the safety position. He could cover guys, he could cover the slot, he could play the corner, he could act as a linebacker and come down, he could play deep, he could hit, he could rush, he could disguise. There were so many things that he could do, and he was so respected by everybody in the league as a guy that enabled Philadelphia under those Jim Johnson defenses to do so many things that undeniably Hall of Fame kind of talent, and deservedly gets in. The Raines Viking to the Clemson Tiger, and then now all of a sudden gold jacket wearer for the class of 2018. For Tony Boselli, it's a different story, because as Boselli did last year, he made it to the final 10 and then was eliminated in the final cut. He was eliminated with three other offensive linemen and Ty Law. So you think about that, half of the guys virtually eliminated in the final cut played on the offensive line, and you could say they cancel each other out. The other three guys have impeccable credentials. Kevin Mawai, Steve Hutchinson, just unbelievable credentials. Add that to Alan Faneca, and you've got a very solid group of offensive linemen who are vying for maybe not more than one or two spots. So, you know, what do you do in that situation? You hope to break the logjam. I've been on the committee nearly 25 years now, and it's a question of, you know, did we put in Lynn Swann before John Stallworth or John Stallworth before Lynn Swann? They both eventually got in, but they canceled each other out for quite a while. It's happened at so many positions, and it'll be hard to say whether or not Boselli can be one of the guys that breaks that logjam. I do know that he has tremendous support among the committee and among the people who look at that, but when you get down to that 10-5, that's the hardest cut to make. It's difficult for guys to not vote for their own guy, whether you're the Seattle guy or the Pittsburgh guy or the Jets guy, you know, whatever you are, you've got to kind of decide who the best players are and put the best five in. No argument with the guys who got in. No argument with the guys who made the final 10. So it's just a numbers game in some situation. When you can only put five in, it's very difficult, as it is every year. And that's, I guess, what it's supposed to be. So Boselli, no doubt, will be a finalist again next year, and it'll be a pleasure again and a privilege to present him to the Hall of Fame committee. I may take a little different tact, we'll see, but certainly I do know that no one thinks Tony Boselli is not worthy of the Hall of Fame. That's for sure. The other offensive linemen, exact same situation. All of these guys are eventually going to get in. It just depends on which guys filter in first. I'm Sam Kavaris, and that's the Nimnicht Chevrolet Sports Update.